He gives, He respects, He loves, He tempers. And so I see that we have opportunities today to where the world can be our example, and we can produce the things of the world, and it can be justified. People can say, well, the law says, or this says, or such and such told me it was okay. And you can justify negative thinking, ungodly lives. You can justify. That's why I said with anything we're living in 2015, somebody made the joke the other day that 2015 was like the year of nitpicking or the year of lawsuits and all this other stuff, because everybody has a problem and they have to have a safe zone. Well, I said I also saw that advertisement out there where somebody was posting it on Facebook saying, well, you know, in the 1940s when men were being dropped into war zones, not knowing whether they was going to live or not, and facing down the enemy with machine guns and weapons, and now those same people at the same age have to have a safe zone because words hurt. And so there's things that you can justify. I mean, we can nitpick at anything that we want to from any example or any direction that you want to, but that don't make it right. And we do what we have to do. And we live as God intends us to live, and we stand on His Word as He chose us to do. Be willing in 2016 to sit back and listen and heed the voice of God. And let Him produce in you that in which He desires for you to have. Not just for you, but for those around you. Just as it was when it was the midst of that storm, there was other ships out there. We spoke about that. There was other ships out there. That blessing went around. There's more blessings for us than you think. And there's more things to be produced in our lives than what we're producing. I know that when I sit down, just as Lona talked about this morning, talking about writing down those blessings, when you really sit down and think about it, you could also sit down and write down all the blessings that you missed. How many times did it pass you by because you done the wrong thing, or you was hard-headed in the moment, or even speaking to your spouse, speaking to your children, speaking in your job? How many negatives did you speak? How many times did you hold back when you should have went forward? There's so much more that we could do. There's so many places that we could have gone, and so much experience that passed us by. And there's so much growth that could have been there, but it ain't there. There's opportunities. And so when I think about 2016, I'm going to put forth my foot forward to run into battles, to face down my enemies, and to let God produce in me the godly man, an example that He made me and intended me to be in the beginning. Whether I think that I'm worthy of it, whether I think that I'm capable of it, those things don't matter. All I've got to do is do what He asked me to do. And I'll go forward in progress, in growth, producing what it is that He wants me to produce. If I'm willing to do it, He's willing to do it with me. And just as He's willing to do it with me, He's willing to do it with you. There's opportunities coming in this new year for us to produce. And so what I'm asking you to do is just be willing to be an instrument. Be an instrument of righteousness to a world that is forgetting what righteousness is, that is forgetting what moral is, that is forgetting what sin is, and be an example to go forward and produce that in which God wants us to produce, and let Him take care of the rest. There's so many things that are out of our hands today, and we just need to put it back in His. I can't solve your problems. I can sit up here and preach all day long, and it ain't going to solve your problems. I have to be dependent upon God. You have to be dependent upon God, and He'll solve. He'll answer. He'll lead. Not me, not you. Him. And so I just want